Have you ever tried something for the first time and then you started working on it? You say, this is going to work. This is going to work. And after a while, you feel like, man, it's not really going anywhere. I feel like I'm stuck. Or maybe you started a new career and you say, man, this is what I always dreamed of. And after a while, it seems like you can't go any further than where you at. And it's like you hitting a glass ceiling. And like you say, man, I feel like I'm stuck. I'm just stuck here. I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck at this dead-end job. I'm stuck in this position that I thought was the best thing to happen in my life, but it just feels like I'm stuck. Or maybe you started a new career and you went back to school and then you got your degree and then you realize the degree doesn't mean anything now because the technology has advanced so far while you was in school. They didn't teach you for the new age stuff that's out there now. AI is taking over. Now you feel like you're stuck. Sometimes when we feel like we're stuck, you're not really stuck. I want to talk about that today. If you're over 50 and you feel like you're stuck, could it be that you're being stretched for something greater? Now let's get into the conversation. Let's go. Let's get into this conversation now. I said if you're over 50 and you feel like you're stuck, could it be you're being stretched for something greater? And I want you to keep that in mind while I'm speaking to you. You could be stretched for something greater. Because a lot of times when you're going through these challenges in your life where you feel like you're stuck, it's real. It's real. And I'm going to share a story with you. When I was in my 20s, I was at Greyhound bus lines. And it's the transportation industry, the early 90s. And I was driving a bus and I was like, man, this is a good job, man. I'm going out on the road and I'm driving from New York, Chicago, New York to Detroit, New York to Pittsburgh, to New York to Boston, and New York to Richmond. My favorite run was New York to Richmond. Because we used to leave New York and go down 95, and a lot of people knowing going down 95, those rest areas. And by the time you get to Maryland House, I was like, my main first stop. Get to Maryland House. Back in the day, they used to have Roy Rogers, Sabaros, and what's the other place? Bob Big Boys. And as a bus operator, they were like, oh, you come in, you bring 50 people in, oh, you get some free food. Why did they tell me that? I went up in there, got my 4-piece chicken with fries and a drink. And by the time I finished eating that, when I left and went to Sabaros and got my veal parmesan with spaghetti, with the garlic knots, and took that with me. So when I got to Richmond, spend the night, had something to eat for dinner. And after a while, I was like, man, this is good. But I started gaining weight. I started gaining like 25 pounds. I started at 185, and by the time I left that job, it was over 210 pounds. So with that, the thing I want to impart to you, it was the best job that I thought at the time. And I said to myself, wow, this is good, but I want something better. I want something greater. And people were telling me, yeah, you can go here, you can go there, you can do this. But every time you go there, they were like, oh, I want you to have experience. I didn't have that much experience when I was there. Yeah, they trained us how to drive or operate the motor coach, but I didn't have no experience. They wanted at least 4 or 5 years experience at that time. And I was like, man, I've got no experience. So, I don't want to be here because you're away from home so long. I felt like I was stuck. The money was good at that time. And it was like, okay, well, I'm making some money, I was paying the rent. I still felt stuck. I wanted to go. I wanted to leave. I wanted to do something else that I felt I was better at. I wanted to go back to school, but I couldn't go back to school because I was working. Every day was a different run. You just call it the extra board. But that was training me for something better. It was stretching me for something better. I was there for maybe 5.5 years, and that was training me for something better. It was training me to get the experience I needed to go somewhere else, to go to another level, to go to another dimension in the transportation industry. By the time, it felt like I was stuck. Used to leave home in the Friday morning or Friday afternoon, and then get back home until maybe Monday or Tuesday, depends on how, packed the run was. The extra board they put you on the run if they had extra people at the gate of whatever city they was going to. If it was Richmond, it was mostly Montreal, Richmond. Extra people going, they need an extra bus. And if they didn't have extra people coming back from Montreal or Richmond, you either stay till they have one or you're deadhead back. You know, that was my first real big job like that. So I was like, well, you know, it doesn't matter because, you know, I'm going to get something better. But I felt stuck. I felt stuck. How many people felt stuck or feel stuck in their position where they're at now? Not even a job, in life. If you feel like you're stuck in life now, you're not stuck. Could it be that you're being stretched for the next great thing in your life? Could God be stretching you and preparing you for that next big thing in your life? I was being stretched at that time, and I didn't know it. It didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel comfortable because I was away from home, away from my family, making money, but I was away. I wanted to be home. I wanted to go to church services, but I couldn't go because I was doing a job. And I was being stretched for something greater. And what happened after that, a test came out. New York City Transit test came out. And everybody that was working with me, those who worked in New York, they knew that was the best transportation job at the time, the best transportation job you can get in the city if you got experience. Even if you didn't have experience, they still hire you, but if you had experience, you would get bumped up on the list. So when the test came out, like maybe 30 of us took the test. We all passed the test, and one by one, we all started going over to New York City Transit. When my time came, went to New York City Transit, the instructor was like, "Hey, who got experience driving a bus?" I got experience. Well, who got experience? Driving over the road? I got experience. A couple of my friends from Greyhound, they raised their hand. I got experience. Okay, come on, let me see what you got. They put me behind the seat, driving. They didn't say a word yet. Driving, make a left turn here. Make a right turn here. Back the bus up. Go forward. Hook that corner right there. Turn right there. I made the turn. He just shook his head. He said, okay, go sit down. My other friend, he went, same thing. Turn it. Shook his head. Okay. Some other people went. They made him stay in that seat because they didn't know how to make a left turn. They didn't know how to make a right turn. They didn't know how to back up the bus. And at the end of the first day, he made this statement. You see those two guys over there? They know how to drive the bus. They know how to make a left turn. They know how to make a right turn. They know how to back that bus up. And they are bus operators because they got experience. Now, I want you to watch what they do. And if you can watch what they do, you will understand how to operate this bus that you on now. And I was like, wow. He taught us what to do, but he didn't have to teach us how to do it because we already know how to drive the bus. We already know how to operate that equipment. And thinking back, I realized I was being stretched in that time of Greyhound when I felt uncomfortable, when I felt like this might be a waste of time, but because I know I was expecting something greater, but I'm here and I'm not comfortable. I'm away from home, but it was preparing me and stretching me to become the better version of myself. So when I got to transit, they would say, oh, he know what he's doing. We'll give him this better job, better pay, better benefits. He could be home at night instead of going all over the country. And I'm here to tell you, what you're going through that you're feeling like you're stuck, could it be God is stretching you for something greater? And I'm going to show you this illustration. You know that when you get a rubber band and you stretch it, I got something. This is a band, and you stretch it. This is you. This is the rubber band. Now, this is the rubber band, which is going to be you. God is stretching you. Stretching you. It might feel uncomfortable. You're being stretched. Wherever you're at in your life, you're being stretched. You might feel uncomfortable. Oh man, I can't take it anymore. Oh man, you're stretching me too much. Oh man, I can't stay on this job too much longer because they asking too much of me. Oh man, I can't stay here. I can't stay in this school because they asking too much of me. My brain hurts. My brain is sweating. No, my brain not sweating. But anyway, my brain is sweating and I'm being stretched. Are you being stretched for something greater that's far off into your future? You're being stretched for something greater that you cannot even see. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what God has prepared for them who love him. And God is stretching you so you can get to that greater place that's prepared for you before the foundation of the world. And as you're being stretched, when the set time comes, he's going to release the tension. And you're going to go until your prepared place, the greater place that you was being stretched to go to. Or that tension you was experiencing, it was a propulsion to prepare you to your greater place. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you feel like you're stuck, could it be God is stretching you for something greater? Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time, because this is my time. This is my experience. This is my life. God bless.